All right, CMA Nation, let's get back into it with our two-day look at MLB win totals. Today, we'll talk about the Philadelphia Phillies and the Minnesota Twins. Let's start with the Phillies, who won the National League East last season with a 95-67 record. Odds makers predict a little bit of a dip backwards as they've set their over-under 91.5. This team didn't do a lot in the offseason, but you know what? This was a very good squad last season. They didn't lose a lot, so they didn't need to bring in a lot. Let's take a closer look and see what we think about the 2025 Phillies. I'll start with an addition they made. They signed outfielder Max Kepler on a one-year, $10 million deal. Frankly, I don't love it. Just not exciting to me. He's an aging player past his prime, and I think they overpaid. An addition I do really like, though, is bringing in Jesus Luzardo in a trade with the Marlins. He's not an ace, but he's a really strong number 5 starter, making this rotation even deeper. Let's talk more about this rotation because it is elite. It all starts with our all-everything pitcher, Zach Wheeler, who had a 16-7, who went 16-7 last season, 2.57 ERA, 224 Ks. He was second in Cy Young voting last season, and he, in fact, has finished top 6 3 of the past 5 seasons in voting for this award. So he is truly one of the best in baseball, but it doesn't stop there. Aaron Nola, Christopher Sanchez, Ranger Suarez are all nasty arms, making this one of the deepest rotations in the National League. Their bullpen is really good too, though. I love the signing of Jordan Romano as their closer. He had some injuries last year, but he averaged 36 saves, 2.5 ERA, and 1.12 whip in the 2 years prior to that. I also love Matthew Stram as a setup guy. Ryan Kirkering, Tanner Banks, Jose Alvarado are all great arms in the back end as well. Their offense also remains elite. Trey Turner, Bryce Harper, Kyle Schwarber, Nick Castellanos, power and production everywhere. They were 5th in Major League Baseball last year in batting average, on-base percentage, slugging percentage, RBI, runs, and they were 7th in home runs. So I have no concerns with their offense either. Should be one of the best in the National League. This team won 95 games last year, so the bottom line is this. Nothing to me suggests that they're going to drop below the 91.5 mark needed. Rotation is deep, bullpen is solid, lineup is loaded. We're taking the over 91.5 wins, and we're going to give it 4 baseballs on the confidence meter. All right, let's now shift to the American League and look at the Minnesota Twins, who missed the playoffs last season with an 82-80 record. They didn't do a lot in free agency, but they did bring in a couple guys. Outfielder Harrison Bader, gritty player, solid defender, but he's not an everyday player. In fact, I don't even think he'll be in the opening day lineup. First baseman Ty France, another guy, just doesn't really excite me. He's serviceable, but just not a huge offensive upgrade. Jim Bowden of The Athletic wrote the other day that this entire offense is going to hinge on the health of their 3 superstar players, Carlos Correa, Byron Buxton, Royce Lewis, and I couldn't agree more. These guys, unfortunately, have not been able to stay on the field a lot recently, but when healthy, if they can stay on the field, their projected full season numbers based on last year's pace would be 88 home runs, 283 RBI, and a 287 average. So just 3 really strong players in the heart of that offensive lineup if they can stay on the field. It's a big if, but when they play, they're legit and make this offense really, really strong. Let's look at the rotation now. Pablo Lopez, I love as their ace. His ERA ticked up last year, but still really strong number 1. Joe Ryan and Bailey Ober, super quality number 2 and 3 guys. But then we see a little bit of drop off. I'm a little concerned about their back end. It's a little bit weaker. But overall, they have a very solid rotation. They were 2nd in Major League Baseball in strikeouts last season, 7th in WHIP. Their bullpen, they signed Danny Coulombe. I think it's an underrated signing. Dominant last year, .68 WHIP, 32 Ks, and 29 innings pitched. Juan Duran is fine as a closer, but I don't think he's a lead. I think he's a little overrated, but maybe this year he continues on his upward trajectory. Depth to me is the biggest strength of this bullpen. Griffin Jacks, Cole Sands, Jorge Alcala all have great stuff. Lots of quality arms everywhere, making it one of the better bullpens in the American League. Bottom line is this. The Twins are above average across the board, lineup, rotation, and bullpen. Health is key. If Correa, Buxton, and Lewis stay on the field, I think this team will surprise. The AL Central is weak, so they don't need to be elite in order to rack up wins here. We're going to take the over 84.5 wins, but with a little less confidence, we'll give it 2 baseballs on the confidence meter. That's all we got today, CMA Nation. We'll be back tomorrow with 2 more. Take care. See ya.